Back. And we're back with a part 2. So again, super excited for this because I don't like starting with a tire talk because when I start the video, you guys have noticed I got so much to talk about, and then we finish and I'm like, oh well, I got nothing left to say. So this is kind of the sad part, sad reality of making content. You know, it doesn't always go how it. Oh fuck! Oh shit! Shit! Okay, I forgot to do something. No. I'll see him tomorrow. Perfect. Good. Okay, good. So yeah, so like I was saying, I forgot to call my dad, but it's late right now. So if I call him, he's gonna complain. So I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the intro, which is not the intro because the intro is already done. But this is gonna be intro and mukbang of day 261. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. This is my last day rocking the hair. I'm gonna regret if I don't call him. Because I sleep during the day. And my parents are like, oh, you call late. So if I don't call. Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Mom, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Just wanted to know something. Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Yes? I just wanted to
Hi.
know something.
Yeah,
Are you free next Tuesday?
I don't know. I have to check.
Okay, cool. Because I would love to see you.
I'm gonna check. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Were you sleeping?
No. I was washing. That's why.
Okay, there's no problem. So please check and let me know.
Okay, I promise.
And merci pour les recommandations.
Y a pas de problème. Je sais que comment il s'appelle Amazon, ils avaient la
Yeah,
Chine, c'est fermé.
yeah, but Amazon, maman, they're they're known for bad say work condition.
Okay. Anyway,
Amazon, it's very it's very maybe they changed because they get into so much problem. There were article of people going in just because there was rumor that Amazon was not a good workplace. So there's people that
anyway.
were like journalists and they huh? Sorry? Hello? 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 Somebody at the phone? Well, I don't know if you can hear me, Mom, but have a nice day. I love you. No answer. She hung up. She hung up. Yeah, no answer. No answer. Okay, I'll see her Tuesday. So now, I called my father a little bit earlier. Yeah, my parents say they feel like I don't call them and I forget because. And this is why I want to do like an intro. That way I can do a bit more and just. And if I have to call them, I call them. But just an intro. Today is Saturday. Today is 20th of June 2026. So we're going to have a busy week. I'm going to see my father tomorrow, which is the 21st. I'm going to see my mom on Tuesday, which is the 22nd. And I'm going to see, on the 24th, we have an event, which is La Saint Jean Baptiste. So, you know, this year, we're kind of focusing more on making live, but things like that, I really want to do see them. I really want to go see the Fête Canada and Saint Jean Baptiste, which is 2 days out of the year, which is not a big deal. I am looking really forward to it. Yes, last night was crazy because We did all of my. Yesterday was crazy. You know what? You know what'd be really cool? Oh, dude, you have to be careful. Because I'm still under tournaments, okay? You know what'd be really freaking cool? If I could do the cooking right now. Because today we're eating steaks. So I'm super excited about that. Je pensais que les mensonges faisaient mal, mais la vérité est encore pire. Yeah, because we had two steaks and I want to eat them before, while they're still as fresh as possible. So yesterday was so special because I did all of my talking, all of the tower talk, all of the I did tower talk right now, so that's why it's in my mind. But yeah, so we did everything that I had to do, right? Which again, we're very thankful for. It's a very good thing that we finished with that. And then I was supposed to just chillax, right? But for some reason, I don't know why, I miscalculated the stream, the VODs, and that's a couple. I was kind of like in a bad mood. Not a bad mood, but I was kind of disappointed in myself. Right? Kind of disappointed in myself. So you're not gonna see my face? I'm sorry, guys. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? You're not gonna see my face. C'est la vie, right? C'est la vie. You're still gonna see my belly, my peen. I don't wear pants. There you go. Back on. And we're still gonna do this. So yeah, so I was a bit annoyed. So what I did was I restarted talking, which was really cool. So we were able to do a lot today. I went to bed. I'm gonna put the extra blood on it. Fuck it. What's the worst that can happen with that? Right? So we did this. I mean, it was a weird day. Let's be generous with the seasoning, because the blood is gonna be mixing it in. Is that your first time mixing blood and seasoning while you're cooking? Please don't do this at home. I am an untrained professional, but I did get a diploma via. I did get a diploma via a very recommendable website, which is Amazon. So this morning we redo it. I'm able to finish everything. We were able to just chill. This morning I was super tired, so I ended up not doing as much as I wanted to, which is not a big deal. I'm in a mood of testing new games. We found a couple that I'm really willing to try tonight, and I have a guaranteed one game because right now we're doing everything, which is my new phone, and I have one that's guaranteed, right? Guaranteed for everything. Oh. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Aha. You thought you were gonna get me, Scallywagon. You thought you were gonna get me. Good. For stop. So this is why you pay attention. Okay. There we go. We're back. We're back. Yeah, I was saying that there was not enough storage. That's okay. The storage, the internal storage was full, but the other storage was empty. Well, the SD card footage was empty. I feel like it's not very hot. It's just because these bad boys are so huge, you know? Plus the other thing wasn't ready. What is the other thing? The other thing is... There you go. The skillet wasn't ready. I still have the cookie from Reese and Pillsbury cookie. We're gonna be having that. It's gonna be fun. It'll be good. Yesterday we burned them. Let's not burn them today. This time I'm gonna be cooking the steak a little bit more. The reality is I don't have steaks often. But that's my Red Bull can on the balcony. I don't have steaks often. So by memories, I do like my steaks a little bit blue. A little bit uncooked, right? That doesn't mean that's still the case. Look at this mythical piece, bro. Look at this mythical piece. There you go. Nice. I got that. Yeah, so that's it. What was I talking about? I don't remember. But this is basically what we're gonna get. Oh yeah. So yesterday I was too tired. I wasn't able to work a lot, which is okay. We did find some games just in case because right now we went through like 12 games already, and it's complex because I'm not willing to invest myself in a story, right? I'm not willing to invest myself in a story. I'm not willing to invest myself in a game that's not interesting. Good. Now what I'm gonna do is close this, right? And I'm gonna put it here, and hope that's not a good idea. Dude, this is how you get things destroyed. I have a plan though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on the stuff that's hot. I'm gonna put this on top. That way it's not burning anything, and that way we don't get burned. There you go. As simple as that. Look. Completely armless. Well, depends for who. If I wanted to, I'd still find a way. And Crown died. But I think we did good. Crown died at how much? At 708. 744. Last time we got 708, so let's hope that these are enough for me to be able. Good. And I didn't bring the steak. Good. So now, I usually like to eat my steaks with nothing but my hand. But since it's my mom that gave me that, we're gonna make a extra effort. Shall we? Yeah, she's deserving of an effort. She's my mom, and I love her. And she didn't have to give me steak, so because she was super generous, we're gonna be nicer. Where is my fork? Yes, I only have one fork. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Je pensais que les mensonges faisaient mal, mais la vérité est encore pire. Fuck. Sorry guys. I don't have my freaking fork. It's a pen. We're always thankful for pens. Okay. Fork. fork while still hork. Dans le terrain. Well, think we'll have to rock it without the fork, guys. I got a dozen spoons, but no forks. The cooks seem to be fantastic. Let's go. Guys, a huge thanks to my mom. Take a picture. She called me. Okay, good. She called me to say, call me tomorrow. Okay. Will do. So now, time to explore how well we cook this. Could I still use more? But these pieces are just so big. Look at this. Mmm. Mmm. Wow. Mmm. Mmm. Here's the real test. Because this is the grease and the nerve. So it's a crazy thing. We had like an orange storm today. We didn't lose electricity. My father didn't lose electricity. My mom would have told me. So I go to bed this morning. It's 9 o'clock. Which is a bit late for your boy. I'm not gonna lie. But we still manage, right? Which I feel is the most important part. So we'll die for. Nothing beats a good steak. And could I use it a little bit more cooked? Because this is raw. But to me, I don't think it's just perfect, but I better than last time. So I'm waking up with freaking thunder. It's like the apocalypse. A huge rain. But the truth is what? The truth is what? The truth is I wake up. I'm like, oh, I slept for 5 hours. That's not enough. So I put my phone in the window, and I have this ritual: orgasm after sleep. You know? I'm okay. Let's have a bit of fun. And for some reason, I'm not into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not horny, you know? So I'm not into it. So it takes me a lot longer to do it. So now it's 40 minutes in, and I'm like, fuck it. I still did it, but I was like, okay, well, can I go to sleep? I tried to go back to sleep at 6 o'clock night. It's so good. What's the difference? Went ham with the seasoning. It's very savory, very tasty, which I do like a lot. Ah shit, I fucked up. Crown. Weren't you doing the Senate run? Yeah. Good, perfect. So yeah, so I wake up and I'm like, okay, well, let's get this day rolling. Now, because we woke up after 5 hours, of course, nothing was uploaded, and this one was pretty full. I'm like, okay, well, if it doesn't upload, what am I supposed to do? Right? I'm like, okay, well, kind of fucked here. This is why it's not cooked enough. This is the only thing that tells you it's not cooked enough. You can eat this shit raw, dude. But, quand je like that, just chewing. So yeah, so I do my things. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to upload to I'm not gonna be able to upload to edit. No, I'm not done. So we're getting fantastic results, right? So I have this ritual. The ritual is what? The ritual is when I wake up, is that everything is uploading. I go in the shower, and we do which is the bath. Did you guys know that a bath is more recommended? A bath is release endorphin because it feels like a hug because you surrender with warmth. That's why sometimes you crave a bath. You notice that you won't crave a shower. This is something like I need to clean myself because I'm dirty. But you'll crave a shower because you had a rough day or you're sore. And the hot water is just fantastic, but a bath, 1,000 times better. Unbelievable. That's just so good. That is just so good, bro. I think to remember. It's a huge piece too. I should check. And there's a weight on it. Because my god, it's a solid piece. The problem that came out of it is I took the phone into the bath, right? Because I'm not about to waste my time. I still need to work. So I go in. I'm like, shit. There's really nice thunder outside. So I stay in my bed, which is close to the window, and I chill and play games until there's a bit more uploaded. Or which I wanted the phone. And the one phone that wasn't uploading, because everything else was uploading except for tablets, was Speedster. Speedster, which is, I don't have the exact name of the phone, but it's the A15. Um, c'est nouveau. Samsung. Acheter à nouveau. Acheter à nouveau Samsung. This one. Samsung Galaxy A16 5J. Is that the one? Are we sure? Yeah, it is. It's $216. And I gotta say, well, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Look at the quality of the camera. For again, a phone that is super cheap. It's super nice. It is super good. And because it's super good, I was like, you know what? This could be like a solution. I'm gonna be honest. When I bought that phone, so I was telling the truth, right? My main phone, which is the S24 Plus, broke. No, my phone back then was my main phone, which was the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus, broke, and I was looking for a phone to replace it. How about the Huawei Motorola? The camera wasn't good. It wasn't good. And then I went ahead and bought the Speedster. When I bought Speedster, the goal was always to film that. And when I bought Speedster, it was when? New Year. I don't film outside on New Year. We don't use a lot of the rear camera because the apartment is small, so you don't need it. All I have to do is this. This is the one end, and we're close to the other end. I would say that's 80% of my apartment is just there. So then we have the piece which is that's on the bone. Mm. 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 So, if anything happened, I have a great phone to film. Now, I buy the Google Pixel 10, and the problem is, remove the camera, I can't do anything else. The quality is good, possibly at the level of S24 Plus, but the option are a lot more. And one that's easy to discover, and amazing to discover. Mm. 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 It's just phenomenal. Mm. Good. So yeah, so like I was saying, with that, I'm gonna say I wouldn't be able to film, to edit. I think we'll just mass upload. Now that I have 100, I keep saying unlimited because it does feel like unlimited, but it's not. Now that I have 100 upload on the gaming channel, I could just constantly push gaming videos and gaming videos and gaming videos and gaming videos, and there's no stopping me, you know? So, because of that, I'm literally able to empty the phones. And before, although we did it, I don't mind that we did it, but before what I would have to do is, I would have to do I would have to take the, it may be the tower, maybe a game, maybe Fortnite, maybe whatever it is. I would have to use them, put them in a compilation, which is anything. This is the blood, by the way. And then I would edit and I would upload. Now we can just take pieces by pieces. We're good. We're good to go. There you go. Mm. 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 It's so good. But like every good thing, I have the end, and the end is 9. You know. Whew, that was good. So now, what is that? Why are you saying record? We get to digest, get to relax a little bit. So, that's good. I don't have other batteries, right? How much battery did I have? On 6%. Okay. I'm gonna have to chill a little bit. I have to chill a little bit. And there we go. This is where we are. Today was the epiphany of everything we tried to accomplish, right? Just the fact that we were able to do the uploading. I wasn't able to edit, but I was able to upload. And then at the end, I was able to edit, and we did everything that we did yesterday. Now this creates a problem because this isn't done. I still have another clip that's not done. We still have 3 days of footage, which is great because before, when I say before, it wasn't that long ago. It was 2-3 weeks before. It was day by day, and that is never cool. You don't want to live day by day. You don't want to live paycheck by paycheck. You just don't. The fact that we don't have to is great. So now this is what's good. Why did I want to see my mom so badly? Because tomorrow I'm gonna cut my hair. Tomorrow I'm gonna make the sacrifice with my hair. They like when it's short. We're gonna cut it for them. First of all, it's Father's Day. And my mom's gonna be appreciative. So yeah, so why not? Do I want to cut them? No. But if I have no choice, I have no choice. Do you want to see there's something on TikTok? Need to charge these because I want to clean my hand. And when I clean my hands, no. Le terrain. Good. No way, you're popular. So yeah, so we have multiple days. It's great. Cutting the hair is actually the subject of mukbang, which is done. I wolf that down, guys. I wolf it down. That's why I don't like doing the intro like that because it doesn't matter. Yesterday I had a huge. I told you about the VODs already, which is why the cool thing is they still are filmed. There's still a footage of this. The sad thing is they're on the tower VODs, and I don't know which one it is. So, I'm stuck there. This is one. This is the two. Number two is what? Number two is super simple. Number two is that the subject isn't cutting my hair. The subject is making people happy towards you. Yesterday, we towards you, making surrounding happy. God, right now we're digesting. We're having a good time. I hate that I have to cut my hair tomorrow. I want to cut it, but I have to because it's gonna make my mom happy, my dad happy. And if they're happy, they don't ask for much. They don't ask for much. So the subject is making people that surround you happy. One of the child, and I hate saying this because it does feel like I take it for granted. I think it's all is good, and that there's nothing left to change or nothing left to improve, which is of course not true. It's never true. There's always something to improve, and there's always something to work on. Yesterday, got a text from Carly. Now, me and Carly, you guys know, she's a fucking amazing woman. She's amazing. She's the coolest. She's gorgeous. We really like her. Um, but life got crazy, bro. Life got crazy. See, Carly, as much as I love her, and again, it's my fault because I talk a lot, but we'll spend like an hour on the phone every single day, and I do like that. But with my mom calling, I was pissed off about this. My father calling, which was worried about the government. My mom was pissed off about the government, you know. So both my parents were very demanding emotionally and time wise, and I just was like didn't feel like talking. And Carly, I know that if I don't call her, she'll not that she won't get pissed, but she's like, okay, well, dude, if you're not gonna give me time, or if you're not gonna make time for me, fuck it, right? So I didn't call her, try to call her, and she didn't answer. Which I thought she was done with me, which I would have understood because I didn't text her and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is why I'm not gonna call you, which was a good thing to do. But even then, I was so emotionally drained, and what would happen is when I'm emotionally drained. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but when I'm emotionally drained, I tend to be an asshole or a bit less patient. That's a good word. And because we're a little bit less patient, I tend to be, you know, and I don't. She doesn't deserve that. So, stop calling her for like a week or two. Then I texted her because I was feeling better. When I felt better, that was the first thing I did. I texted her, um, right? And then she did answer. I was like, okay, well, you lost a good person, right? And then we got her back, and you know, I wrote a letter for my father yesterday, and this is really when I start realizing, okay, well, this would be like a good subject for mukbang. This is because again, the mukbang and most likely my train of thoughts or what's going on days of our life, you know, is just relaxing, is just chilling, but it's also talking about current events in my life because I don't have a background in politics. I'm not going to talk to you about the war. I'm not going to start saying, oh, free Palestine or, you know, because I don't know the reality. I don't know, and not that I'm not interested, but I mean, fix your own country before thinking about other countries. You know, and it's very bad saying that, but there's a case, and yes, my country doesn't have a war, but there's so much stuff, and I feel like we're so prone to like, okay, well, this is a bigger problem. They need my help a lot more. Yeah, but a older person that has a problem crossing the street and she's nervous because she has to cross the street and she cannot walk. She cannot go to the other side. She's too nervous. She doesn't know what to do. I know you need help, but right now I can be saving people in Ukraine, and I'm like, who's gonna think about her, right? So it's a question of it's sort of a grander scale. Help yourself before you help others. Help your neighbor before you help. I don't know. It was the same, but you know. And that's kind of the case of right now. It's not the entirety of the truth because you know there's so much complexity. Like realistically speaking, how can you help? Well, helping the lady cross the street is helping her. But then if she's going to the store, you're not gonna wait for her to done with the store and then bring her back home. So she'll have the same problem. So are you really helping her or you're just pushing the problem elsewhere, you know? If a person has a hard time crossing the streets or is nervous to go out because there's so the hustle bustle of the city, then maybe you should have a nurse or have somebody that's taking care of you, you know? And that's nothing, that's not to be mean, that's nothing personal, but it's just it's a constant problem. For example, I got asthma. I don't, but I used when I was a kid. I got asthma, and I would carry my pump with me because if I had an attack, I would have had. The only thing I think for asthma that I had was during the winter. That's a good story. The doctor gave my dad two pumps. The blue one was to clear up the airways, and the orange was when there's an inflammation. So we didn't have a way, and we did it every couple minutes. Like no, you have to wait you have to wait 2 hours. So I went in the hospital. I was critical. Yeah, it was tough. I was like 11 or 12, something like that. I remember playing Metroid on Game Boy Advance. That's how old I was. So yeah, so I spent, oh my god, I spent 3 days at the hospital, which was kind of gangster. It was kind of cool. Why? Because they had movies. I can do what I want. I got to eat some food. I don't remember if the food was good though. I remember eating Jello and thinking it was good. I don't remember if the food was good. So yeah, so I went there. Not my only, but I had the pop-in case. Then as an adult, I stopped having asthma attack because I got a better shape. I got in better shape, and I knew it's sort of a case of you didn't have any severe attack. Because if you didn't have any severe attack, the small one you had, you're able to take care of it. Um, it's sort of like rehabilitation, if you will. Am I 100%? No. Can I have a asthma attack tomorrow? Maybe. Who knows? But I don't think so. So yeah. So I go. So yes, this is about helping people, helping yourself. Helping yourself is understanding that you need pumps and you need shit like that, right? So yeah, the whole thing with Carly, with my mom, with my dad, and again, I have a very small circle. I do have a very very small circle. It's really small. There's nothing really going on. It's nothing extraordinary. It's nothing that is God bless. It's kind of complex because there's all of these good stuff. There's all these good things happening, but you don't have to share it with somebody. Then you can share it with somebody. And my parents are awesome, and Harley is awesome. Of course, I wish I had a bigger circle, but then I'm like, dude, and this is kind of perfect because I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have a purpose of talking about helping yourself before you help others, but when you do think about it, it kind of makes sense. Why would I want a bigger circle when I have a hard time taking care of the circle that I already have? And that circle is deserving, and that circle is a godsend. It's a great circle that I have. I have fantastic parents. Yes, it's not always easy, but could have had much worse. And it's kind of when shit hits the fan. The government was not an easy thing. My parents were there, and it's kind of nuts because, you're as an adult. This is one of the first time where I really had to take care of both of them. Like make sure that they were okay, make sure that they were not stressed, not too stressed. Do my part because usually I grew up with my parents doing everything for me. I had a ticket. I remember. Oh, I was hanging with the wrong crowd. But basically, I had a knife, right? And I wasn't gonna use the knife. I was just going around with a knife because I was a kid. I was a dumb kid. I was a dumb kid. See, the number of times we dropped that phone is insane. I was a dumb kid. There's no other reasoning. There's no other explanation. I was stupid. So then, me, being a dumb kid, got me arrested. Because again, I didn't use the knife. And it's a true story. I didn't use the knife, right? I was hanging with the wrong crowd. So one of the guy I was hanging out with, I'm not gonna name his name because he's possibly in jail right now. I'm not even kidding. He was throwing out like packets of salt, just to be an asshole. I'm gonna be cleaning this because I need that bow. Can I pet that bow? And then they kicked him out, and they were right to kick him out. The guy was an asshole. So what he did, he had pepper spray on him. So he went in the back of I swear to God, this is a true story. He went in the back of the store, of the establishment. He found the air duct. It was winter. He took some pepper spray, and he pepper sprayed the air duct. Yeah. So then the restaurant called the police. They arrested him. They pat us down. I had a knife on me. Took me to the car. I was handcuffed. But I was too young to be prosecuted. And so I had I had a ticket, I guess. Look at this. We never clean our dishes, but now we need to. So because of that, I had a ticket. And my parents, which again, super thankful for, but it's weird. They were like, "Don't worry, we're gonna pay for it. Just don't do it again." Your kid has a knife in school, dude. Either you trust me that I'm not gonna use it, either you think it's normal. I got no punishment. That's over from yesterday. But I did them a bowl because yesterday it burned. It wasn't the cookie that burned. Biscuit and a cookie in English and French, sorry. It wasn't the cookie that burned, it was the plate. So yeah, limit is done. Could have done better. 1,000 to 100. I don't know what is that good or not. 1,000 to 100. Is that good? A good way to know if it's good is checking out your last score. 1,100. Okay. That's not good. It's literally how we're doing every single day. On a daily basis. Right, so, okay. So, yeah, so... And I love that, but they always took care of everything. You know, and I'm thankful for that, but at the same time, was it a good... If my son... If my son was to bring a knife in school, I would give him a shit. Doesn't matter if you had bad intent. Doesn't matter if you had good intent. You brought a knife to school, bro. This is dangerous. What if you lose a knife and somebody takes it and stabs somebody, you know? You're responsible for that. You had a knife in school, which you're not supposed to have. But for me, it was... so this was my first time. And, you know, I'm very lucky for having the people that I have in my life. For having Carly, for having my parents, you know? And I'm very thankful for that. But at the same time, I do think that... And the reality is, I do have other friends, right? But we don't talk on a daily basis. I don't think they're there for me on a daily basis. Carly, I could call her and like, "Hey, dude, get over here. I'm gonna, you know." And she'd come. Now, it's not the truth, but she would come. It's not the truth because I don't feel like... But she would come. So yeah, so... It's one of the first times in my life where I'm super thankful because I was able to be there for people. And, you know, yes, it was a shitty situation. It was a shitty situation. But I got out of it. And so far, I don't have any bills or shit like that, which is great. Which is phenomenal. I need to clean the apartment today, because I need to find the keys to the apartment. Because if I can find the keys, I can find everything, actually. So yeah, so with that being said, I'm very thankful because I was able to take care of people. I'm very thankful because I was able to take care of myself. But more so that people, because it's an easy thing to have a good friend group. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I had wonderful friends, and ultimately speaking, I'm not a bad person. No, I think I'm a good person. I think I'm a good person. I think I'm a shitty friend, just because I'm not used to friendship, right? I've lost friends over the fact that I wasn't the best of friends. They're like, "You know what, bro? This friendship is a bit too one-sided for me." It cooks perfectly. It cooked perfectly. Nice. I'm gonna leave that open. That way it cool down a little bit. But I would like it for it to cool down. It'd be nice. So yeah. And ultimately speaking, of course, as an older person, when you get older as a more mature person, you're like, fuck, dude, you love them and that's on you, bro. You know, you fucked it up. You fucked it up. Cannot blame anybody but yourself. And ultimately speaking, that's the truth. Didn't want to blame people, but I had to blame people. Because who else is going to take care of it for me, except for me? I'm going to do for Shield. I have an ID for Shield. I don't think I did a single one of them. Yeah, I didn't. Good. I think it's going to be horrid. But I could possibly do it with the Shield. Just run one. So yeah, so I really feel like even though I could have done much better, I could have done a lot more. I really feel like I handled the situation. And my father is easy to deal with it. My mom. Oh shit. Oh. This recording stopped 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago. I possibly had the crown starting. Okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah. It's okay. We're very good at handling things right now. See, very calm, collected. Which I do like for myself. You know? So yeah, so my mom is a bit harder to deal with, but I'm able to deal with everything. And then Carly texted me yesterday and I'm like, holy shit. You know, I was able to keep that friendship. And we're back at Trinity. There you go. You need to check something I did. I think I thought I didn't finish the editing. So yeah, so I'm very thankful. And I ultimately think is the balance. That's sort of important. And the simplest way to say it is, I'm a good friend, therefore I deserve good friends. The harder way to do it is saying, I'm dependable, henceforth I can depend on. Which is never a relationship of give and give. And it's never a relationship of this happened as I could be able to, for example, hey, you owe me, you know? Or do this for me, but I'm not gonna owe you. It's a relationship of equality. Equal opportunities. This is the cake. This is the cookies. What I like to do now, what I discovered is I like to take them. Don't ask me how I discovered that. See, it cooked perfectly compared to yesterday. What I discovered is I like to take the cook cookies and put the uncooked cookies in there. So it gives you like a shell of cookies, and inside is the softer part of it. That makes sense or no? No. Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, so I think it's pretty good that we're able to maintain relationship, because I often see myself as, you can sound crazy, but I often see myself, look at this. Now this is some cookie mix. The perfect relationship between them both. Look at this. This is my first time doing this. Undeniable. It's very pie-ish. Ooh, it's hot. This is very good. I think this is worth celebrating. You know? I'm not a perfect person and I can improve. But you can tell a lot by a person by who surrounds him. You know? Tell you a secret. As a society, when we see a pretty dude, no, when we see a ugly dude, right? A pretty chick, what do we say? Must have money. Why is she with him? I'm 5'4". I had girlfriend, friends who ask you why you get with a guy smaller than you or shorter than you in front of me. Okay, but fucked. And then when you see a pretty guy with an ugly girl, what do we say? Oh, what a nice guy. It's so genuine, so unprofessional, so superficial. Which is crazy statement. You know? Why am I saying this? Because in both cases, the person possibly just is a great person. I did a girl that was out of my league. Why? That was a nice guy. It's a little bit burned. Swimming. I'm too fat. And I have a brand new freaking thing. And that's insane. I'm gonna end this here. Oh. We're gonna do a Ula talk. And I'm gonna be uploading all 3 of them. Look at this bad boy. That was good, but my God, it's sweet. Even did I have the King famous? And it is a great point of in comfort for me. It's a huge fear. It's a huge fear of mine that if I ever get popular or famous, a girl's gonna be with me just because I'm popular. You know? Do I want that? No. Am I afraid of that? Yes. It's like, holy shit. It's kind of hardcore, isn't it? You know?
Hey, so kisses up, I know.
So I'm gonna be honest and say I'm afraid of that. If I had to make it more simple, okay. Let's make it a lot more simple. Let's make it undeniably simple. You can create a genuine bond. You can be a genuine person, right? Right? You can be an amazing person. You can be an amazing human being, right? And you created that from yourself. You're born in a good family. You had good value. You were raised right. You're a kind of person, and you love for that. And that is 100% you. That is 100% your work. You know, it's 100% of who you are as a person. And then you can create the superficial, right? You can create a superficial. And superficial is what? Great question. And superficial is what? Is I'm rich, henceforth I'm popular. I'm great looking, and so I'm popular. I'm a popular dude, henceforth. And when I say popular, I mean successful. Because ultimately speaking, friends are great. But friends will like you if you have one arm and one eye. Shout out to my people out there, my amputee people out there. You know? It doesn't matter. A girl, a woman, a wife, a girlfriend, a mistress. You know? There's a reason for that. I'm gonna be misogynistic for a second. A girl just has to say, hey, I'm single, ready to mingle. And she gets hits. How come you think there's 3 times more men on application websites, dating websites, Tinder, Badoo, Bumble? What do you think? It's not because women are not single. Because women don't need application like that. You understand? This application comes as an answer for a need, but if you don't have the need, you don't need the answer to the need. So if you don't need the answer to the need, then why bother? Why butter? A butterscotch. So then you're in a position where you're put in a position where, like, okay, you know what? I'm having a good time. Could be better. What can I do? I can lose the weight, right? I can get facial reconstruction. I can get surgery, right? I can get Ozempic, right? Get a pill or a cream that will make me look younger, right? I can taint my hair, right? But it's all superficial. It's all correlation of, hey, this is not you. This is not natural, right? So then there's a couple of instances with that, which are really, really problematic. Some of them are people might not care that you're a good person. You could be the best guy. You can be the most amazing human being. People don't care about that. People don't care. You need to get money. For example, when you ask a person, hey, what's your ideal guy, right? They say, well, over 6 foot, and I want him to make 6 figure, and I want him to be to have a great job, and of course it's a minority of people that says that, but still, there this mentality exists, right? And for a dude, it is similar. It's very physical. It's physical. You can have dudes possibly more likely to friends on a girl than a girl is likely to friends on a dude. Because a girl will friend on a dude because she thinks she's. Ugh. I think a dude will friend with a girl because there's no interest, and if he can hang with a dude or with a girl, he'll hang with another dude. You know, a girl won't mind who she hangs out with, but she'll make it clear that she friends on you, right? So my issue is if a person doesn't mind or doesn't even realize, right? Because it is possible. It is very possible. Doesn't mind or doesn't realize that she's in a position of leverage. Position of leverage is insane because it's everywhere, and this is completely unbelievable because you would think that by being a good person and by being a quality person, you have leverage in saying like, hey, I can choose what I want. But if you're ugly as shit, you won't have leverage. And then the person that you're into, I still have all the butterfly. I'm into you. I'm into you. And the leverage is there's always gonna be a person that's more interested in other person, and this is a kind of like a cool. Again, it's coming from a guy that didn't have a girlfriend, that got laid, that had less than 50 sexual relationships, less than 50, right? And the one I had they turned out that great. The one I had were some of them were good, some of them were not good, right? But yeah, so, and even then, I'm gonna tell you something that's horrible. When I was 22, I had my huge depression. This is a true story. I wish it wasn't, but it was a true story. I had my I had my big depression, and I needed to feel good, and I really needed to feel good. So what I had a friend, a really good friend of mine, a really cool dude. Sadly, the other guy that's in prison right now. Wish you the best, bro. And he allowed me to use his picture on a dating site. Yeah, yeah. So I catfished a lot of people. Yeah, I was insecure. I wasn't myself. And then what I realized was, yes, the picture was not me, but what I was saying was me. You know. And because I was a good dude, I could not only get the girl but keep the girl. You know. That was kind of cool. But eventually, everything was known. Eventually, the mask dropped. Eventually, I'm like, hey, I don't want to pretend anymore, so I closed the account. Some people I told the truth, some people I didn't. You know? Need to go to the bathroom soon, guys. Oh, okay, good. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Ooh. Yeah. Good. We checked. It was ready. I still get over all the butterfly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in to you. And there you go. So all of this to say that sometimes being a good dude is not enough. And that is sucky, you know? That is sucky. I'm gonna tell you another secret, and this one is a huge secret. You guys know that I had a little history with a girl called Livy. which got me a lot of problem because she was underage. Never saw her, never touched her. But the discussion was, by her design, sort of went a step further than I wanted. And people are asking me, like, why did you do that, bro? In my entire life, and I'm 33 years old, and I'm not going to be blaming her. I'm going to be blaming me. Because I could have done more effort with girls, right? But she is the very first girl that I felt, which is not true. There was this other girl. Her name was Leia. Her, I was 22 when I got to know her, and it was my only girlfriend. I treated her like shit. Why? Because she was my first girlfriend. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to treat her, and I felt like she was out of my league. So I was pushing, and I was an asshole out of insecurity. Out of insecurity, I was an asshole. But all this to say that with Leia and Liv, they were truly, and I mean truly, and I'm not even joking, and I wish I was, but I'm not. They were, to this day, the only person that I felt really... I talked about Carly. Carly, I think she's a wonderful person, and I would absolutely date the shit out of her. But there's never instances where I feel very desired. Like, Livy was literally saying things like, give me a schedule. And I know it's going to sound weird. And I know it's going to sound super weird, but she's like, I know that you're busy and I don't mind, but give me a time frame to call you today. Right? And it doesn't matter how much time we had. She was satisfied with that. That was so much maturity, right? So do I regret what I did with Livy? Absolutely. However, this is the reason. The reason is because I felt valued. I felt like I mattered. I felt like desired, This girl, even if you don't believe me, was trying so hard to get with me. She waited almost a year to be with me. And then she would say things like, again, this is all like a lot of information. And I know there's not really a reason for it, but I just feel like talking. She literally saw me texting another girl and said things like, I wish I was the one you were texting. Leia, which was my first girlfriend, she'd say things like, I'm really lucky to have a nice guy. She would say things like, we're the same eyes, we have the same eyes. She would say things like, this is fate. Which was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Never to be seen again. So of course I made mistakes, and of course it had that, but they come from a place from where I felt no value. And you put yourself in a social dating, dating application, and you're not successful, and you spend like 3 weeks. I tell you another crazy story. I remember there was this girl, Alexia. I was 22, and again 22. So I have a account on. I believe I met her on Badoo, but it might have been Bumble. No, it was Purple. It was Badoo. And Alexia was super cool. Super cool. A really good person, really good girl, super down to earth, a bit crazy. When I say a bit crazy, it was really crazy. But apart from that, she was nice to me. And I fell in love. I fell in love after 2 conversations. And then she was like, oh, I got another match. Okay, never again. And they decided me to create a fake account with catfishing. Am I proud of it? No, but at the same time, I have regrets. I wasn't purposefully hurting people. I didn't. I never purposefully hurt people. I never purposefully took advantage of someone. Never ever. Never ever. Never ever. You know. So I don't feel bad. And was it the right thing to do? No. Was it something that I should have done? No. But at the same time, there's possibly people that do it today and that are much worse than me. So. So yeah. So sometimes being a good guy is not enough. And the fear is that you could be an asshole, but if you have money, people will worship you. People will be there. Yes, man. And it might have been romantically, it might have been friendship wise. People will take advantage of that, right? Which is tough. Which is tough because you don't want that. You don't want that. You never want that. I was watching this couple on TikTok not too long ago. It was created, and the girl wasn't that good looking, but my friend was happy, and I was happy for him. And then she turned out to be crazy, and he was like, "I don't know what happened, dude. I don't know why I went with her." But this guy has been telling me that he feels lonely for months and months and months. So I don't understand what she did. Yes, I understand what she did. You were lonely and you needed somebody. Just happened to be there. You know. So what I fear is that, again, like I said, three things. I might not be good enough. I might not be a good enough person to. Because I'm not the prettiest guy. I know that. It's okay. I come to terms with that, right? I might not be the prettiest guy to balance out with my ugly, my level of ugly. But at the same time, I do think that I'm good enough looking for at least being the run and being like, hey, what's up? Right? And this is why I also didn't lose the weight. I would be called fat, too fat to date, and too ugly to date. Can I change this? I can change the weight. So yeah. Then the second part is that people might not care about how good of a person you are. Maybe you're as good as you can be. Maybe, and if you believe in a different timeline, maybe the best timeline, you're the kindest timeline. Maybe you are. And I hope you are, because otherwise that's fucked up, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And then the last one, which is people appreciate for you for who you are, but then money is nicer. So they still value you. It's like this person that says, "Hey, we're really good friends. We're really good friends, but I could use a bit of money." You know they care about you as a person, but their money is nicer. And then all of your relationship, all of everything is kind of meaningless. Right now we're in the worst position. I'm broke, and what I do doesn't have purpose because I don't publish. I'll publish it next year. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. It never did matter. Because next year we're gonna be working. I'm gonna get an influx of cash. You know? So what if I come back and I'm touching money? I went to a one of my worst mistakes as a kid. I went to a friend. Oh, I went to Cancun, which was a my internship for cooking. I was 20 years old. My first big trip. I turned 20 there. It's beautiful. And I had a friend that was worried. He said, "Hey, I don't know if I have enough money. How much did you have?" I'm like, "Well, I have $2,000 for a month, which is way too much." But again, my father was like, "No, no, don't do that." And I was like, "I don't care. I'm gonna do it." Said, okay, you do what you do it. No. And I told the person. There's a couple of stories with that. I told I didn't I never told those story too, and I told the person, and he told everybody that I had that much. And I was fucking lucky because nobody ever asked me for cash. Nobody ever asked me for cash, so I was lucky for that. They could have asked me because they knew how much I had. It was the guy with the most cash there, out of a salary of Costco. True story. My very first job, Costco. Yeah, that's kind of insane. And then, even better story. A lot later, I was 24. 23, 24, right? I'm working for a company that is called Fabritech. Fabritech, they're building up, whatchamacallit? They're building up furniture. It's not furniture. It's like, this, indeed. It's like this, right? So they're building like drawers and shit like that. And they offer me an opportunity. They say, hey, there's this company in Saint Flavie, which is a small village, a very small village, a very, very small village. We want to have some people from there go to Montreal, and we want to have, they're going to have some employee from here, there. We know that you don't have a family, we know that you don't have, you're single, so we're asking you because you would be one of the person with the least to lose, because the reality is what they wanted to do, because there's not a lot of people. The reality, what they wanted to do is they wanted to have people come from Montreal and sort of seduce them, if that makes sense, and to stay in to work, right? So we were four dudes, four guys, me, Bilal, Steven, and I believe it was Mathieu, or it might have been, I think it was Maxime or Mathieu, I don't remember. But we go there, and there was a problem. So they tell me, like, hey, don't you dude, this is a good opportunity. You're gonna see there for, and again, this is a true story, I swear. It's a true story, I swear. That was a bad experience. That was a bad experience. That was a really bad experience. There was a mistake. There was a problem with communication. Because this is a huge opportunity. We're gonna house you. You're gonna be working. You have a month guaranteed of 40 hours a day, a week. Sorry. And we're gonna feed you up to $30 a day. Doesn't matter what you eat, you get $30 a day. Now, what they meant to say was, you can buy food, and we'll reimburse you. So people come in and say, hey, I don't have money. The three of them, we were four again, I don't have money. So I ended up paying for people. And we ate like douchebags. We ate like douchebags. Because people didn't have money. You don't think that I wanted to eat for $30 a day? No, I had to share because I had cash. I could have said no. And then, even then, we would go to Dollarama and steal because we didn't have enough food, you know? And I had to lie for how much money that I have, because otherwise you could take advantage of it. And then after the first week, I was getting paid every single week. Then they start really spending, and then they start doing what they wanted. You know, which was dumb. But the kindness that I was receiving when I was paying for stuff, versus when I stopped paying for stuff because I could pay for it for themselves. And then I had a crazy person with me, Steven. He was insane. This guy was fucking nuts, bro. This guy was fucking nuts. This guy was 40 years old. He was, you know, I feel bad saying this, but you know, he was an ex-junkie that definitely did too much hard drugs. It fucked him up. And he was the kind of person that's, you're so fucked up because of that you sometimes you would wonder, hey, are you still, you know? So we have Matthew. Matthew's a good dude. That's a good dude. Matthew's a driver. Okay, so we have three people. We have four people, sorry. And they cannot drive. We have one person that cannot drive for everybody. We use his car, and every single kilometer that he does with gas First of all, this gas is paid. Second of all, they give him more money for the gas. He's with Steven. And Steven, I know him from. So I told you guys the company is from Fabritech, right? Steven, I met him from Fabritech. And Steven was saying stuff, and right away, the guy was fucking insane. He would tell me stuff like, if I was your dad, I would be ashamed of you. And I would answer with stuff like, you're twice my age. We're doing the same salary. You got nothing to be ashamed of. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know? But then I was too shy to say that. So I was like, okay, no, don't say it. And then the people from there, they would defend me. They'd be like, hey, don't talk to him like that. Who are you to talk to me like that? Don't ever talk to him like that. It was a good dude. Possibly not the best worker, but I was a good dude. So I go at Saint Flavie, which is again a small village, very small village. It was fun though. It was a good experience. And they said, okay, well, you're gonna be in rooms of two. So Steven is saying, dude, we need to be in the same room. We need to be in the same room. We need to be in the same room. I'm like, fuck no. So I'm lucky because I'm sitting in the back again. So I got this a true story. And me and Bilal were together, right? In the back seat. I'm like, dude, let's take it easy. We'll be in the same place. These two speak English. I don't speak English. You don't speak English. Which is not true. I spoke English. Because I didn't want to be with him, with Steven. And then, I'm not saying that they were bad people. I'm just saying that they took desperate people, and sometimes the desperate people, there's a reason what in the situation they're in, right? So, Matthew is rooming with Steven. And Steven is insane, bro. Insane. After a week, Matthew leave. Now Bilal is pissed at me. He's pissed off. Because it's like, oh, I'm so quiet and you're so loud. You listen to your music, listen to your movies. He was pissed at me because I jerked off in the shower. And he was like, even if you clean it after, I have to take a shower there. Like, what am I supposed to do? Wait for a month? You're 30 something. I'm 24, bro. I'm horny. You know? So it was insane. It was insane, bro. It was completely insane. But Steven was worse. Steven, I was on the phone. Oh, this was awful. I was on the phone with my father. And Steven didn't know what I was talking about, but he heard me talk. And then he would answer to my dad. He'd say, oh, tell your dad I say hi. My dad doesn't know you. My dad doesn't care about you. You're an asshole. Fuck off. And then Steven. Again, I don't judge. I don't judge. That was a big story. That was a big lesson for me. So Steven comes in. And Steven is aware of the $20 per day. But there's nothing. There's no rules. So if you want to buy beer, if you want to buy alcohol, you can buy cigarettes with that money. As long as you consume it, you're good. So he buys alcohol. And every day he gets drunks. And the guy's just an asshole. But a constant asshole. The guy comes to work the first day in his sandals. Where every single workshop company, you have to wear you don't wear sandals. You have to wear a steel toe boot. We come back home, he gets drunk and starts screaming at me. Oh, you're plotting against me. You should have told me you didn't take sandals. You want to be the better worker here, and the only way you do is make me wear sandals. I didn't make you wear shit, bro. You're insane. So I start, the first day I forgive him. Second day I forgive him, and then after that I'm just not talking to him. So then he started getting drunk, and I come in the because it's an hotel room. The guy's fucking naked. He gets in my face. And he's drunk, of course. And he starts screaming, hey, talk to me. The guy is so out of his mind, he's so drunk that his eyes are freaking, he's looking at the ceiling. In my head, I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, you just have to stay there. I used to go out. This is a true story too. On the weekends, what I would do is I would go out. We would have like the whole day. I would leave from the morning, go to the store. The store was an hour and a half away. I come back. At that time, I was listening to I Think Kill. They just had released Communion of the Dead, which was amazing. When I went to Cancun, Deuce, which was Hollywood Undead, previous singer, had released I Came to Party, which was amazing. And when I went to Saint Flavie, with Communion of the Dead, I always had a song, I was obsessed with. So I go there. And it's fucking a mess. I have to leave in the morning to go to the store, to go to the restaurant, just to chill. I can't stay in the house with that guy. To come back at like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock. I'm in a fucking strange zone. I'm not friendly with these people. Right? And then the craziest thing happened. Matthew leaves because he's tired of Steven. And again, I'm complaining about Steven, but that wasn't the biggest problem. The whole story is about money, right? And then they send somebody that does more shares. They send an employees of, because I was with a temporary agency. You can hear the rain outside. It's actually fantastic. Fantastic. And Matthew was honest. He was like, dude, this guy is insane. He said that Bilal was hiding, which is true, but that was a good dude. He was just a very quiet guy in his zone, which is not wrong, which is not bad. And then he said, Steven is insane. And then he told I was paying for the whole week. And he said, I don't understand why they don't respect you. The guy from the place. He's like, they should worship the ground you walk on. You're the reason why they ate the first week. I'm like, I know. And then Bilal and that guy fought because Bilal was wanted to, okay, so the water heater wasn't the greatest. It was a cheap motel. It wasn't a cheap motel. It was actually a good motel, but still a motel. It's not a hotel. It's not like Hilton. So I'd say maybe 2 or 3 stars out of 4. It's not bad. But the water tank wasn't that great. So the guy would come in, and the first person that had to take the shower actually had a lot more hot water. What we would do with Steven, and that what he was good for. Steven would take his shower before going to bed. I'll take mine when I wake up. For that, it was good. For that, it was really good. And yeah. Then they had a fight because Bilal wanted to take the shower first. It's like, hey, you don't leave me enough hot water. The other guy was like, well, if you take your shower, I don't have hot water. So whatever we do, there's still going to be somebody that doesn't have hot water. Which, okay, what you want to do? Kiss your fire. But all of this to say, like, these people never cared about me. These people never cared about me. They cared because I was paying the bill. I didn't have the money to pay the bill, but I was paying the bill. And the money was reimbursed. But it wasn't never reimbursed by them. It was reimbursed by the company. It was reimbursed by the company. It's nuts. Never even got a thank you. So the part of this, the point of the story, the reason why I'm saying the story is 2 things. Maybe I didn't ask for, I didn't deserve respect. Maybe I didn't deserve. I was a young kid, right? I was very shy, very submissive in this way that you can tell me something and I'm going to say yes, which is how I was raised. Because if I didn't say yes when I was a kid, schlack. My father was a schlack. My mom was an hour and a half or an hour of, well, I ask you to do something, I do everything for you. If you love me, you'll do it. So yeah. And the second part is, it didn't matter how nice I was. Money was gonna be the plot. So now, why do you cite tension? Well, it's a good reason. One day, you may or may not be successful. Why may not? Because it depends on your definition of successful. A loving wife and kid is successful, but you might not have that. You might think that money is being successful, but it's not. But one day, if I'm successful and a popular, famous content creator, I'll be faced with results, and it will be faced with in reality. And what is that reality, you may ask? It's a good question. That reality is that it won't matter how much I improve. It won't matter how much mistakes I make. It won't matter how much of a good guy I am. It will only matter what I can bring. So right now, I still have a chance of being told no. I still have a chance of having nothing to offer. And that's it. So now we're gonna stop with the intro because this was shit enough time. We're gonna do ooh la la. So this is really cool because we did the tire talk. We ended the recording. We're gonna stop this recording. We're gonna call it tire talk, and then we're gonna call it ooh la la. And we're not gonna be the first one. So because that was gonna be tough because this is gonna be number Shield Part 2 and Live Part 2. So this is tough, bro. But hey, good conversation. Of course there's a worry. There's a worry of an accountability. I was always good at taking about accountability of my action, right? I was always good at understanding what I did was wrong. I was always good about being sorry for it. I was never good with following through. I was never good with changing. You know? I can recognize I did something wrong. But I'll do it again. For example, Carly. Fucking love her, but right now, since I'm doing that much, I can call her like every 2 days, every 3 days, every day. But there's gonna be one I can't. So there's no point in saying I'm sorry for that because there might be an instance where I do it again. I don't know. Anyway, this is enough. I'm gonna put this and we'll do a lot of talk. That's pretty much it. The reef. Cause I'm in too deep. And I'm trying to keep all the thoughts in my head. Instead of going under. See, that was what?
Passports, bags, thermostat, Uber. Because there are 5 a.m. flights in your area, there are drivers in your area.
Two.
Vous adorez vos chaussures branchables, mais voulez plus de contrôle. Voici la bouffée de parfum de Febreze. 50 jours de parfum avec un cordon et un bouton remontant.
See, also my mom.
La nouvelle bouffée de
As
parfum.
much as I love my mom, I got a text from my stepmom yesterday.
Can't get no sleep! Can't get no rest!
It was actually pretty good. Because she texted me saying that, okay, well, you know what? You have your,
Can't get no...
whatchamacallit. There's a opportunity to get a job, which is, you know when you call the 911? You got a person that answer and say, okay, well, I'm going to direct you. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that for a while. That came to the back of my mind, but before I made content, that's what I wanted to do. You know? And, I said that. And then, my mom, she done research, right? And then, I also done the research because the first comment was what? She copied and pasted the first comment And I'm like, yeah, but you tell me to work for Amazon. And it's one of the worst. So it's, it's a different perception. One is saying, here's an opportunity. The other one is saying, no, that's not good enough. Here's something, but I don't know if it's good. Anyway. Ooh, talk.